Sofa Faithful, it is finally Friday. Hopefully, you guys are all done with work. You can chill, have a drink with us because you know it's Friday. We're going to get our drink on, do some defensive edge previews. We're going to show that our quarterback is actually a superhero. We're talking about a signing that we got this week. We got TJ and Anshel for Media in the back, and so we're going to be starting this up in just a second. Let me hit the intro, and we will be right back.
They are at the 44-yard line of the Chargers. Taylor out to the left side, and Ricky Waters to the right. And a play fake. Young goes deep middle. He's got Jerry Rice. Touchdown, 49ers. First touchdown of the game. Comes after only a minute and 24 seconds. 44 yards. Touchdown pass to Rice. He sets another record.
You're now tuned in to NFR Weekly News Wrap, brought to you by Power Brand Systems.
All right, let's bring that man to the stage. Let's bring TJ. How's it going, my brother?
What's cracking, bro?
Not much. You made it. You got a raise.
Yeah. I'm moving on.
All right, and then join us again this week. We got from 49er Media, Anshel. How's it doing, my man?
What up? Doing well, man. I got the opportunity to sleep in a little bit this week with school, and then
always a good
Monday
thing.
I get to sleep in too, so not complaining.
Cool. All right, so let's get this started. We got Mr. John LaJoy in the house. How's it going, my dude? Thank you for showing up, my dude. Don't forget, we are also going live over on Instagram. If you want your stuff seen, if you want your comments to be seen on air, please shoot over to either the Niner Faithful Radio YouTube or Facebook. Yes, but Instagram does not yet let us see comments and everything.
Does Twitter
in the chat?
Or
Twitter does, no, Twitter doesn't either.
What about Twitch?
Twitch should, but I don't think anybody ever watches on Twitch.
Yeah, hardly anybody ever watches. I think media actually might be the only one that watches us on Twitch.
Sometimes I would just hop on there because I'd be on Twitch, and then I just see you guys live side like you used to.
And one of my exes is on Twitch, and she'll hop on every now and then. Yeah, other than that, I think she'll might be the only one that watches us on Twitch.
We got Carcast in the house. I just did a really good fun show with him about an hour ago over on his channel. And props to Carcast. He has got drafty safety from Air Force, Trey Taylor. A little bit later tonight, I want to say it was at 10 o'clock his time, so 7 o'clock here on the West Coast. So being as he was one of the guys that I highlighted as a safety, I'm definitely going to want to have to check that out. So then we also got Mr. Kenny Culp. Hey, you guys are on the TV.
We're on TV. Oh
man.
We're on everything. It's prime time.
Prime time.
Hey, and then we got Miss Kim in the house. How's it?
Okay, how you
All right, gents. Anshel, what you drinking for this evening?
Over here in Arizona, it's like a nice 93 degrees, so kind of just a little twisted tea peach flavor.
It's a fair shot. Just don't be hitting anybody with it, and you're good.
Hey, bro, I don't give a fuck. That was the hardest video ever.
To be fair, that guy took that hit pretty damn good because I'm not.
He did.
So, but
hey, for real though,
he just kind of casually flipped. He said, "Bah!" Shit out.
That was the best thing ever. And I'm like, you know what? That's exactly what needed to happen. And that's like, woo-wee, bro. Anyway.
In that situation, people say violence is not the answer. Damn it, it is sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway,
what are you drinking, TJ?
I just got some Gatorade, bro.
It's a sober night for you.
Long ago, so yeah, I got to go to work tomorrow and Sunday. And it's like one of those things. Like I've got to do it. Nice, Peloton whiskey. And it's one of those things I got to do it because they're probably going to be a little mad at me next week because your boy's not going to be able to work Thursday. Basically, I'm only going to be able to work Wednesday and Sunday next week. Your boy's not going to be
And
able
that
to
is
work
because,
Thursday,
ladies and
Friday,
gentlemen,
or
we are going
Saturday.
to be live during the whole draft.
Yeah, so I'm actually super excited about it. I've definitely dove the way we've done this show this year. I've definitely dived more in depth into. I've actually even done a few mock drafts on my own. I've actually dived more into the draft this year, so I might be able to hang a little bit. Not like draft expert status or anything, but there are going to be some people that I know, that are going to be picked on some teams that I'm going to have some comments about.
Yeah, I like how we divided it up to where it's given us a chance that we have to focus on a specific group and have like we were trying to have at least 2 to 3 for the most part, but it's like, okay, so I got to look at 4 or 5 probably for each position, and then you got to narrow it down. So I like how we split that apart.
And it's gotten me to research channels that aren't just Niner channels.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's this guy, Edge of Philly. Obviously, he's focuses. I'm assuming it's mostly all Philadelphia sports and all that. But let's be real, he's an Eagles fan. I've actually he's pretty much one of the ones I've gone to the most to watch his breakdown. I watched one on a guard. I forget his name, but there's one on a guard that it was literally a New York Giants channel. But it was kind of just like, hey, I need to get some opinions about this guard, so I gotta do, instead of just, hey, let me just stick to Chapman, Locked On 49er, stick to the usual ones. It's gotten me to expand my horizon a little bit.
Look for Trap Sports. There's one of the guys that were in the Twitch program with us. He primarily covers Commander stuff, but he does really good breakdowns for the draft and all that kind of stuff.
There's one also, I forget the name of the channel, but they do it's called 2 Minute Drill.
Yep.
And
they do a quick breakdown of everybody.
Yeah, it's slightly over 2 minutes because the intro and everything like that, but it's real nice, just real quick. Yep. I usually try to, like, if we're going on those days, I've been like, oh, hey, bro, I'm still watching a video. Those are real good to just throw on, like, right before I'm getting ready to do the show. Just let me throw this on real quick. Get some quick cool 2 minutes. I'm out the door, kind of. Yeah, I kind of like that content.
Yeah, I honestly haven't been as close to the draft this year just because I've been fairly busy, and it's like, honestly, not everyone's obviously going to be a Niner anyways. Like, I know some guys, there that I would like, but it's like I'm not diving into, like, every single position and every single kind of guy.
And see, that's kind of been my attitude about the draft is, why am I going to study 200-300 prospects when legitly 7 people, are going to end up going to be Niners anyway. Mm-hmm. And so I'm putting all this information on people that their NFL careers will probably never really mean much to me.
It's a little morbid. You don't mean much to me.
Hey, I mean, it's still fun to get into it and look at these guys and be like, all right, yeah, they may not be on this team, but hey, sometimes the Niners do get some of these guys that are free agents that they had their eyes on but just didn't end up drafting.
Jordan Willis is a big one. Mm-hmm. That there was somebody we signed this year, I believe we brought in
Yutur Gross-Matos, I think, was a guy.
It was somebody we brought in for a 30.
Yeah, and so, it's like they signed him. So
what's up, Berto? And we do not talk about that. We are the ones here. We are still the ones. If you're not a wrestling fan, you won't get.
Anyway,
Samoan Dynasty is still going strong with Solo Sikoa and Tamatonga.
Y'all have fun with that one. Although I was there's this chick I was talking to online and everything. She lives in New Zealand and everything like that. And we were just shooting the shit and back and forth on a YouTube video comments. And she was like, "Oh, what do you do?" I said, "Well, I work retail right now. I'm working Cirque du Soleil." I said, "And I run I own and operate a podcast." She goes, "Oh, hey, what's your podcast about?" I go, "Oh, the 49ers." And she was like, "Oh, well, I'm glad you do that, whatever that is." I was like, "Oh, American football." And she was like, "Oh, okay." So I was talking to her back and forth about it, and I brought up the All Blacks. I said my co-host is half Samoan. I said, so very similar concerts, to y'all in New Zealand and everything like that. And I was telling her how the haka they do. I was like, bro, you don't understand. And she's like, it's so aggressive. I was like, that's me, bro. Like, y'all know me. I'm the type of dude that would totally get off on doing a haka and everything. So we were just bitten back and forth, and I was like, yeah, it was funny.
All right. TJ Dating 101.
All
right.
Not dating.
All right. So we're going to bring.
He was just kidding, Bubby.
I was.
My girl's
for $5.
She can hear us.
So for this week, if you guys haven't known, we have a superhero at quarterback. Our own Brock Purdy saved a Bay Area reporter from being attacked. For those of you who don't get the picture, this is basically Vastro Lord Purdy, which comes from the anime Bleach, takes on a guy named Coyote Stark, who is the #1 Espada for Aizen, who is the #1 bad guy. I know I'm probably losing a lot of people right now, getting a little bit too nerdy for this, but he has a pack of coyotes. We have a Brock Purdy. Who do you think is going to win? What's up, McNiner?
What up, McNiner?
I got it, Brett. I got it.
All right.
Before we do it, we of course got to do a little bit of housekeeping. God, you know what? That clip was like one of the greatest clips I've ever clipped.
Yeah. Just for how. Yeah. So, I know it's a little bit of a deep cut. Actually, it's not a deep cut. This is like one of the most popular animes right now.
I've heard of Bleach.
Bleach is badass. Look, I know everybody likes Dragon Ball. Bleach is better. Come at me. We can argue about that all day long. Bleach is better than Dragon Ball.
Closest I ever got in the anime, my foster brothers used to watch a bunch of it, and I think either right after Boondocks or right before Boondocks, they had Full Metal Alchemist.
That's full anime, brother. Full Metal is badass.
Yeah, so we would chill in their I would chill in their room. We'd watch that and we'd watch Boondocks, and then I'd be like, all right, I'll see y'all niggas later.
Story about me and my wife, we kind of bonded over anime, especially like Full Metal Alchemist. I want to say it's like episode 6. There was a point that used to come on like Wednesday nights at like 2:00 when Full Metal used to come on. There's a point in Full Metal Alchemist where, let's just say that there's a very gross thing. Like there's a kid killed and how she was killed and all that kind of stuff. Basically, the two of us at like 2:00 in the morning were crying over it. It's a pretty deep anime at times.
Yeah, no, it's. I couldn't tell you about any episodes or anything like that, but I remember it came after Boondocks because they had like that hour anime or like it was anime for like the rest of the night or whatever. So after that one, I'd be like, all right, y'all go ahead and do y'all nerd thing. I'm gonna dip back to my room and go holler at some bitches or whatever I was doing, So, but yeah, I definitely remember watching that one. All right, let me see this video, bro. I didn't even hear about this.
Yeah, so here's the actual video of the lady that he saved.
Okay, Paul, an update to a story I told here on KPIX a few weeks ago about how I stumbled upon 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy filming a John Deere commercial in San Francisco. And also he saw me and the huge coyote standing right behind me when I suddenly heard Brock scream, "Coyote!" And I turned around and I saw the biggest coyote I've ever seen sneaking up behind me and my dog. My dog is no match. My dog is huge. He would have been fine. But when I walked back down the hill, one of the film crew guys said, "Hey, Brock Purdy saved your life."
He did.
Not exactly, but it's a good story to tell. Okay, I know that there was some skepticism in the comments section. I don't read the comments section.
Never read the comments.
No. No, it's not a friendly place. But I was told, if you didn't believe me, though, commenters, today, Brock Purdy himself talked about it on the air.
I didn't know San Francisco had coyote. What the hell's going on over there?
I didn't either, dude. We're shooting this commercial by a hill on the outside of the city, and I see this thing, trotting by, and it had a long tail. I was like, bro, it looks like a mini wolf. And sure enough, no one was gonna scream, and I was like, all right. And so I screamed, and I was like, yo, there's a coyote. I can't believe that was a real thing, but she walked by, and then sure enough, she said she's a news anchor, and I was like, dude, I just saved a news anchor's life from getting eaten by a coyote. But it's real, man. I can confirm it.
Confirmed. Okay, so this was in Bernal Heights.
All right, so there's our superhero, Brock Purdy.
First comment. How redneck hick Iowa State is it that this man is shooting a John Deere commercial?
No, he is now the official spokesperson for John Deere.
And,
yeah, because he was saying there's whole job on it and stuff. Like
yep,
you
there's
can
a whole
actually
job
go
where
and actually get a job for it and get paid for it because he talked about that on the Pat McAfee show.
Yep, I want that job.
He's got that corn that he's sponsoring now too, which to me, I like this because what does it speak to? It speaks to Brock's humbleness. Like, sure, was Nike beating down his door or anything? We don't necessarily know that. I would assume so. When the man was the other starting quarterback next to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, MVP candidate. Brock's got some sponsorships. So to me, it does seem to speak to his humbleness and everything. And I mean, awesome. We got, go ahead and Lions, Rams. He hasn't played the Bears yet. Maybe we'll play the Bears this year. So hopefully they'll take down Bears. And you know what? Fuck it. Take down
here's
Coyotes.
A question. So can next year we get that as one of the audibles? Coyote!
That'd be so. That'd be awesome. Nick Clay.
I'm clipping this shit out of that. It's going to totally be a drop on this show if we get Brock yelling "Coyote" as an audible.
Yeah, dude, I think that'd be great. Like, I think that's a perfect way to weave that into everything. Just let him sit there and go "Coyote."
Especially if more than can or kill. Yeah. Right, which obviously everybody knows we're killing the play. We could
fits perfectly.
You could have it kill the play, Coyote kill, and everything like that, and it would be way less obvious than just yelling kill.
Yeah.
Or maybe we get a John Deere in there. John Deere. Like tractor.
And that was perfect is if it was like a run play, just
no. And then on the run play, he's like Toyota.
Toyota would be the for an audible to like CMC. If we do John Deere, it's got to be like to like a fullback. It's got to go to Juice because you think John Deere, it's big, it's buff, kind of a thing. Maybe we just put Trent in the backfield, let him go. Yeah, that's what everybody. People ask me, they're like, "Is there coyotes in San Francisco?" I'm like, "The fuck, I don't know. I don't live there." It's like
I don't personally know about the city, but you cut it off before I actually heard where in the Bay this was. They said outside the city. I'm not really familiar from too much of the Bay Area, but here in San Jose, we have a shitload of coyotes. My girl, it was so funny. So I work. I used to work when I worked at Dollar Tree. I worked on the border of San Jose and a city called Los Gatos, which is that's where Alex Smith lived when he played for the Niners. So my girl dropped me off, and it's J-O, not H-O. SANJO. Anyway, Kenny's in the comments. But or a lot of people say San Jose. But anyway, my girl was dropping me off at like 3:30 in the morning, and a coyote actually followed her car. And then we have I don't know if it's an actual city. Like, I don't know if you look up Coyote, California, if it will pop up in the city. But it's like a city, district, whatever you want to call it, called Coyote. And there's a shit ton of coyotes over there. So here in
bar Coyote Ugly.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen coyotes too, like when I'm back home.
Right, you live in Arizona.
Yeah, but like when I'm back home, Like when I'm back home, like
In the
college, like there's definitely I've seen some coyotes.
Yeah.
All
like
right.
for
So
real.
continuing with the superhero that is Brock Purdy. Is it me or has he been hanging out with Nick Bosa? And he's getting Purdy buff. Look at them thighs. He does
Dude,
not
even
skip
just
leg.
that. Yeah, even those arms that have the football, like it's just you can
Yeah.
look
Yeah.
at the veins and
You can
like
the
Yeah,
fiber.
like-
you can
tell
see
that
the
it's like
fibers, the muscle. He's got that gnarly scar right over here. The chicks dig. Chicks dig the
Yeah.
wedding ring too, but that's a different subject.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, you can tell he's probably put on what? It looks like 10, 15 pounds probably.
And I think what doesn't get talked about enough is Brock Purdy's young enough that he's still growing, right? Brock Purdy's not who Brock Purdy's going to be at 33 yet. And also what excites me most about this season, or intrigues me, I'm excited, but at least you should be intrigued about the season. Is this the first, let's be real, 2021, he was getting ready for the combine, doing all that, everything craziness, right? Yep. 2022, he's coming off of basically, Tommy John surgery.
mm-hmm.
Basically, at this point, he couldn't even grip a football, I'm sure,
Yeah,
by
he was
this
throwing-
point last year.
Maybe throwing him with the tennis ball.
Or
Yeah,
even I think he probably was doing a towel too.
Yeah,
Towel.
forgot about the towel.
Whatever, at this point, it was definitely not a football he was throwing.
For sure.
And sure, lower body, whatever. Obviously, he probably jogged, did things to keep himself in shape. But how much lifting do you think he was able to do last offseason? At what point was he even cleared to lift? So I think that honestly, the biggest jump that we'll see in Brock Purdy's career, both physically and position, fundamentals wise and everything like that, is going to be this year.
This year, next year.
Yeah. I mean, and he even talked about like mobility was something that he wanted to work on this off season, and even just getting his arms stronger too, right? So this definitely should kind of help with that.
Sure looks stronger.
Yeah, definitely looks strong.
Doesn't it feel great? Ansel probably won't remember this, but Jason and I will remember, end of Joe, Steve, transitioning to Jeff Garcia. So there was a good, 30 years. So from 81 to 03, that the Niners really didn't have to worry about the quarterback.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
We just
boom,
stable
Joe
as it
Montana
comes.
to Steve Young to Jeff Garcia. Obviously, you take a few years off, and then there's Alex, that whole saga. But, so it was a good while that the Niners quarterback situation was pretty settled. And then we obviously got away from that for a while and everything. It just feels nice to, like, look at the TV, see a commercial, go to the website, whatever, things around town, whatever, and just look and smile and see a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And just look and be like, that's my quarterback. Mm-hmm. And just to feel comfortable to spend the least amount of time digging into quarterbacks. Hopefully, nothing for a while will beat 2021 and how much we not necessarily dug into quarterbacks, but dug into 3 Pacific quarterbacks. Let's be real. There was only 3 quarterbacks we were going to take. Zach Wilson, or Mac Jones, Justin Fields, or Trey Lance. Is essentially the only quarterbacks we really dug into in 21. But, not digging into quarterbacks, no drama. These things are, and y'all know I love Cap. But to me, I look at Brock and I see more of a franchise quarterback. Like, this man lives and breathes football. Mm-hmm. I've spoken to people who were Cap's teammates. I've spoken to people who worked for the organization. I've spoken to people who knew personally, grew up with Cap. He treated football as a very 9-to-5 job. This is my job. I dedicate to myself. I work hard. When I clock out, I clock out. I could definitely see Brock studying film, and his wife saying, "Babe, are you coming to bed? Hold on, I'm looking over, Yams tape." So awesome. Great to see.
I guess
it's a scar though.
I mean, I've also because of how old I am, right? I've only seen Kaepernick and Alex Smith, and even though I loved Alex Smith, I honestly wasn't as high on Kaepernick. Maybe that's just because he was so known to be doing the running kind of stuff, and I was still
DC, what's up?
kind of young to understand everything and when it comes to football. But like Brock Purdy just has an it factor that I just haven't seen, and it's like all the stuff he's doing in this offseason with the sponsorships and stuff, and like now saving that Coyote, like you just see the type of guy he is too, and it just proves to you why he is that leader in the locker room, and everyone respects him too. So.
The thing I love most about Brock, one of the I've said on the show before the throw that intrigued me most about Brock, Jason, when Jason and I were at the Dolphins game, Brock's first career for action, that throw to Kittle after the 2-minute warning, where he just stood in there, pressure right in his face, delivered a dot, and I was just like, rookie quarterbacks don't do that. Especially Mr.
Few and far between
quarterbacks. And I was like, okay, that, and then what sold me as Brock as a leader, Brock as in this is my team, was at week 1 in Pittsburgh when and just the fiery, like that report that's totally bogus. It said Brock has, elite arm talent, but I need to see more fire out of him. I literally flashed when Pittsburgh.
Did you figure out who that was?
No, I don't know. I don't care. Like, that's just that to me is why I don't want to start speaking about other football teams. And you know why? That's somebody who watches the pressers, somebody that watches ESPN and sees whatever little clips about Brock Purdy and doesn't fully focus on us and listen, surround himself about the team. Where we hear about how he's in the locker room, we hear about how his teammates speak about him. We watch every single second of every game. That probably came from somebody that watched some shit on ESPN, maybe watched the Super Bowl, and everything like that. But what sold me as Brock as, I don't want to say the guy like, yeah, let's pay him $60 million a year. The type of guy. I think that Brock has a limit, and a ceiling on what I think that he's worth. But sold me as, hey, I don't think that the Niners are getting better. Is that week 1 against Pittsburgh when he was just, and did that little snot rocket first down thing and everything like that. Just for me, that right there sold me about the passion he had. Because quarterbacks don't really generally do that, bro. Like the type of quarterback Brock is, the humble guy, the gee, golly gosh, praise the Lord type of guy.
He ain't that on the field. He is not that on the field.
And Jason, remember we were talking about this on Monday because I was telling you about that article that I saw that some guy was like, "Oh, Brock doesn't have the it factor, or I need to see more energy in it." You clearly see it. Like, you've even seen it in the Seahawks game where he did that, what was it, double pump, and then he sees Kittle. And I think this was like right to start the first half. Like, you see the it in him. You've seen those photos of him, like, just having that proud. You see it in the hug when he goes up and hugs Kyle Shanahan after they, finish the comeback and are headed to the Super Bowl. You see that from Brock. And you just see how much the teammates, everybody on this team, everybody in the office, just everybody in the organization loves Brock Purdy.
So before we move on to the next part, go ahead, TJ.
I always look at, and we'll wrap it up after this, I always look at older Niner fans, right? Because older Niner fans, people Jason's age, even a little older than Jason, they've seen it. I'm right here behind you, man. Not too far off. I got don't let the fact that I trim my beard fool you. I get grays in it, bro. I always like to look at Brock as the Archangel Michael. I like that. I like Tim Ryan says Brock of Gibraltar, and I always like when he says that, like the Brock of Gibraltar. Anyway, damn, that hella threw me off my thought. I'm 50. So I always see, and because we've seen it, older Niner fans know what it's supposed to look like. They've seen it at the highest level probably ever played with Joe, Steve, John Brody. When I saw older Niner fans chanting Brock's name when he ran out of the tunnel,
You
that
knew he
told
was
me
legit.
something. That told me something. Because, say what you want about other fan bases, how old are your rings and all that shit. Like, we could turn on tape and we could see the highest level of quarterback play that's ever been played in the NFL. We know older Niner fans know what the fuck they're talking about, bro. They've seen it. And that's what really sold me on Brock, that the it factor. Now, does that mean he has an elite arm? He's better than Patrick Mahomes? All this shit? No. But I think that we could be confident to say I did not see anything in that Super Bowl that made me believe that this man can't win this championship. I dare the league to allow Brock to get back to the Super Bowl, bro. I dare the league.
So, on a quick funny before we head into our prospects coming up, with those pictures of Brock Purdy, to me, there was one thing missing. Brock needs facial hair, don't you guys think?
Yeah, I think a little beard.
Is it too clean shaven?
He looks too much like a baby. Like he just looks.
So here we
like
go. Hear me out.
faces.
So here we go. Just clean shaven Brock. What do you think? Okay. What do you think about when he's got the Aaron Rodgers?
I can't do the stash.
No.
I can't do the stash.
No,
I can't do
no,
the stash.
no. I
I
cannot.
can't do the stash.
No way. I
All right,
cannot.
all right. I got one more for you. We go full beard.
I dig the beard, bro. I dig the beard.
No.
I dig the beard. Maybe not as long.
I think
that
if he
beard
had
is
like
the drive.
if
I
he had
drive
like a
track.
little bit of hair, like with the near, like not the whole beard, but I think just a little bit, yeah. But no,
I don't know that the full beard says I drive a John Deere.
Yeah, no, he looks like he drives a John Deere right there. No, so past like Kenny, he said. No, I feel that I know it's Steph's, Steph.
yeah.
Curry's
See, like this, I
nickname,
think would
but-
be fine. A little goatee, like.
Yeah, just a little goatee or something. But you know what? He's 23, so let's be real. I couldn't really grow a goatee like that at
True,
23.
he was a little young. I had a full
Shit,
beard at like
It was
16.
probably only a couple years that both sides of my goatee started to connect. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real here.
All right, so let's get into
Crazy
this
to
next
me
part.
that Brock's only like a year older than me.
Transactions this week. Of course, we have the re-signing of Trent Taylor back on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
Speaking of guys with great
Welcome
facial hair, look at
back.
these guys. Boys are back in town.
Yes, we love the Trent Taylor.
The quality time. The quality time with him and
All the time with I totally had forgotten about that, bro.
so did I.
I did too.
I totally forgotten about that. Like that brought me back to that brought me back to a special time in my life when this is a special time because we're here, but it's almost like how people say it's the journey, not the destination. That brought me back to the journey. You know what I'm saying? The journey of where we are today, where, 4 of the last 5 NFC championship games, 2 Super Bowl appearances, one of the best rosters in the league. That's all fine. We love coming on here every week talking about winning. Look, the show might not have. Ooh, no.
Come on, Niners.
The shows might not have been as fun. Look, there were some rough Mondays and Tuesdays coming on talking about Niner football during those early Shanahan years, But just the journey and looking back, like, damn, look how young George looks. Look how young he looks, and he's literally right now the longest tenured player on the team, drafted tenure. We should say it that way. George Kittle's the longest tenured Niner who was drafted by the Niners. It was good to see. Love the move. Jason and I spoke about it and so on Tuesday. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I honestly like the move. Now, I will say I don't think it's anything crazy for sure, but the thing is the special teams, like, to me, I'm not really sold on return. And because right now you have Ronnie Bell, and then I'm just like, Who do you have
I don't
there?
want Money Bell returning kicks.
Yeah, and I'm
I
just
don't
like,
trust him.
I do not trust. I don't think Kyle Shanahan wants to trust a rookie. Like, people were saying that, and I'm like, there's no way that Kyle Shanahan is going to trust a rookie, especially what happened to Ronnie Bell and how he looked. There's no way. So I like this move in terms of that. Now, I'm not saying his roster spot's guaranteed because I definitely don't see that being the case. Like, he could very well, worst case, be just the practice squad guy that they end up having one of the receivers, like with the guys like Tate Martin and whatnot. But to me, I actually like this move because, I think he could be a little bit interesting in the slot if he does, make this team. And I think he's definitely an upgrade with the return game, especially at the punt returning. So I'm excited to see what he can do. Like he doesn't have any force, any muffed punts or anything. So
let's go.
And
back
with the new kickoff rule, like I think it's going to be interesting to see too.
Let's go back to 2018 in our minds. We all thought we found the next Wes Welker. Let's be real. That's what the Niners thought they had. They thought they had the next Wes Welker.
Yep.
And I remember being gutted and felt like I was slightly robbed when he hurt his foot in 2019 because we never essentially saw him again. Once he hurt his foot, that he was pretty much, in the complications and all that happened. It was essentially a done data after that. I love the move. Is Trent Taylor going to be, Devin Hester? No. But I'm most fired about this because maybe this means Kyle takes special teams seriously in the sense of I don't understand of all franchises, don't understand how fumbles, especially from special teams plays, affect cost championships, but I would be highly disappointed in Kyle if a muff punt ever flip. If we have the opportunity to get back to another Super Bowl, I'm gonna be highly disappointed if a muff punt flips the Super Bowl. And I bet you Kyle has said that because you and I have talked about, Jason, is no coach coaches forever. And I remember somebody whose football opinion I trust coached Pop Warner football with Bill Walsh, told me a lot of times it's not the coaches that builds it that wins the championship. It's the coach after, i.e., even though he didn't win a championship, Harbaugh, i.e., a little different with George Seifert, but because Bill won championships, but Harbaugh, Gruden, let's not forget. Herm Edwards coached and built that Tampa Bay roster. That was Herm Edwards. That was Herm Edwards defense that John Gruden won that Super Bowl with. And let's be real, that's why they won that Super Bowl, was because of their defense. So love the move, Jason.
All right, so we're going to play a quick commercial here before we start getting into our picks. So we'll be right back, John.
Today's episode is sponsored by Power Brand Systems. Need help getting new customers for your business? Let Power Brand Systems help you grow with their powerful tools. Visit powerbrandsystems.com/Niner Faithful Radio for more info. For the Faithful, by the Faithful, off-season sale is happening now. Save 20% on all For the Faithful, by the Faithful season 1 through 3 gear now through June 30th. Go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/shop to save. Follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and TikTok, and at Niner Faithful R on X. If you like our content and would like to support the show, consider leaving us a tip in our tip jar at NinerFaithfulRadio.us/tip jar. Join our exclusive membership community where you get exclusive NFR content not available anywhere else. Join our exclusive chat, 20% off of all non-sale For the Faithful by the Faithful gear, and much more. Visit portal.ninerfaithfulradio.us/login to join.
All right, gentlemen. So who's going first today?
Let's let the guys go first.
Alrighty, so going with my first edge rusher. This guy's gonna be probably, I'd say, a second round pick, maybe third round, but that is Jonah Ellis out of Utah. 6'2", 248 pounds, 33-inch arms. This guy I absolutely love, and I'd love if he was on the 49ers, because watching some of his film, he just has that factor where he's able to burst and get after the quarterback. He can even kind of go inside and then look like he's going kind of from the outs, like still act as an edge rusher, but going from the outside to kind of the inside. So again, I really like him for the Niners if they're able to get him, mold him up a little bit. He isn't like the crazy speed kind of edge rusher, type of guy. Even though he ran a 4.79, like that's not, crazy speed or anything. But again, I like his hands as well. Even when he struggles at times, he doesn't give up, and still able to contribute even when he is kind of struggling against whatever tackle he may be facing. So yeah, I think if the Niners can go get him, this would be an absolutely home run pick in my opinion.
All right. Who you got for a second?
For my second one, I have Austin Booker out of Kansas. Now, this guy's going to be a later round pick. By the way, the Niners have met with both these guys. They had a formal interview with Austin Booker and just a combine visit with Ellis. But yeah, Booker definitely not as fast, I'd say, than Jonah Ellis. But I do like his, he doesn't give up, kind of similar to Jonah Ellis. And he actually, I was again watching some of his film, and he totally just ran past the tackle at BYU and even Kansas State. He just absolutely ran through them and was just dominating. So I don't remember if it was Kingsley or not. Maybe it might have been, but yeah, I think he'd be a good guy if the Niners want to go with a guy, later on. Again, not as fast of that speed, and definitely I think a guy that you're going to have to mold a little bit too. I believe he also hasn't played as much in college for Kansas, so that's also kind of one thing where, again, I think it's going to take him a little bit longer to get molded. But with Chris Kasurek, I feel like he could probably, figure it out with Austin Booker. So yeah.
All right.
Is Ellis somebody that you would be willing to take at 31?
No, because I think that'd be too early.
That's where I was struggling, because where I've been struggling in this draft when I do this is really struggling between, okay, what do I want the Niners to do?
Mm-hmm.
And what are they likely to do? Who do I want the Niners to take versus who are they likely going to take? And also, how is the board going to fall? That's my thing is, I feel like we're in this weird position being so late in picks. I'm liking him a little bit less the more I study Jordan Morgan, but that's still an option at 31 for me, just because
that's heresy talking to Angel.
Yeah, I know. Angel's, I'm just him getting beat inside, bro, is it's a real deal. But I'm trying. I'm trying. Anyway. We'll talk about that on Tuesday. But where I'm struggling is, okay, what are the options at 31? Is really what I'm struggling with, because even my two players, which we'll get, might as well just tell y'all, Javon Solomon and Marshawn Keelan are players I would love the Niners to have, but as I step back, I'm like, do I want them at 31? No. Okay, so if we don't get a tackle at 31 and, Roger Rosengarten is gone, Jordan Morgan's gone just because of how late we pick him the second, and those things, what do we do? You know what I'm saying? Where do we go from here? We're hoping for a day two or late day two, early day three tackle come in and legitly be what we hope we hope we get, which is a right tackle that eventually can slide over and play left tackle. We're going to pick that up in the 4th round. Like, honestly, and that's where I'm struggling in. And why I've said before, and everybody's, I've gotten some blowback for it, but I think we got to prepare to not get the type of tackle we want. The type of tackle that's like, oh, yeah, he's our swing tackle. But, we're going to plug him in. He's going to take Colton McKivit's job. I'm pretty sure if you ask Kyle, he would love to have all 5 Trent Williams. But I'm prepared for them to show up their post day 1 draft meeting and say, we just didn't have anybody, or even after the draft meeting, there wasn't anybody we thought would make our starting lineup available. And I think, honestly, the more I think about it, the more and more that's starting to become a possibility to me.
I don't know if that's a good point, but I don't know, because I feel like that's what they said last year too, because everybody, remember, was like, okay, we need to draft a tackle, right? It's like Colton McKivitz, everybody already was throwing him kind of down, and I forget who the BYU tackle was from last year, but like he was one of the guys, and then the guy that went to the Browns, right? People wanted him too, and it's just like the Niners, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, said kind of a similar thing where they're like, we just didn't feel like there was a tackle to take. So I would be shocked if in this draft class, if that's the case, because just how deep this class is, and even if it is Rosengarten or whatever in the 2nd round, like I'd be shocked, like if they don't take a guy throughout this entire draft.
That's who I think they're clearly interested in him. They've had a private workout with him, I believe. Did I see his name on the 30 visits? Let me scroll right now.
No, I don't think he was.
I got it right now. I got it right here. No, he wasn't. They took.
I think he was a private kind of a visit.
Yeah, because he was more of a guy that they just were at the Washington Pro Day last weekend, and then they just wanted to go see him a little bit more after.
He had a private workout, private or semi-private workout with the team. They met with Kingsley's the BYU time. I'm gonna let Jason handle that last name, but the
Sua Maiatia.
He's Penny Sewell's cousin. So genetics matter.
We're all cousins.
We're all cousins. Right, for real, right? That's kind of another tackle. I'm kind of floating a couple tackles around here in my mind, preparing for Tuesday. So to me, everybody's going to say, I'm not pretending Javon Solomon is going to come in and be Nick Bosa. He's small. The arm length does concern me. Troy, not the best competition. I watched him against Kansas State, and he didn't pop as much. He didn't pop as much. But
since he was going against Cooper Beebe,
he looked well in the Senior Bowl. But when I step back and I say, okay, what are we drafting Javon Solomon to be? He can't work through double teams. You know what? I'll turn in the fucking draft card myself. If Javon Solomon is getting double teamed every play, and that means that you're either leaving Javon Hargrave or Nick Bosa one-on-one every play, I'll literally draft a man just for that. And so when I step back and I look at both of these players, I say, well, we don't need the, and everybody's like, oh, well, they're not number one pass rushers. We don't need a number one pass rusher.
Yeah.
We don't. To me, Javon Solomon, I mean, we were talking about, I forgot my notebooks with my notes, but we got the PFF draft grade right here for him. Strengths, really impressive all-around athlete for an edge player. Wrestling background shows his core strength and balance. 2023 field showed he was aware of his lack of strength and consistently used hand swipes before contact. Hands were significantly quicker in 2023. He like his explosiveness from the three-point stance. Weaknesses, pop straight up when rushing from a two-point stance, gets happy feet from snaps at time. Shorter strides don't carry a great ground and pursuit. Will lose length battle versus tackles. But I mean, when you listen to his PFF grade last year, 90.9. Tackles 28, 17 sacks. Pass rush grade and true pass sets, 99th percentile. Pass rush win rate was 91% first percentile. Run grade was 92 percentile. 10 hits, 22 hurries, 21 other pass rush wins, and 19 run stops. And unlike a lot of some of these other, like Braswell was the other one I took a peek at, but to me he was a 3-4 outside linebacker. Like when I watched him, I did not see too many snaps with him in the hand with his hand in the dirt, or at least good snaps with his hand in the dirt, let alone lining up outside the tackle. I watched Javon Solomon basically do what he was going to do for the Niners, and he looked damn fine doing it. So when you step back and you say, okay, I think he could contribute on this football team day one, right? You've got Leonard Floyd insurance, knock on wood, been healthy, all that, but number 3, you give him a year to develop, even 2 years, because Floyd signed a 2-year contract. Even if you got to give him 2 years,
I mean, and develop. You have Yetur Gross-Matos too, who you
I mean,
signing to,
got pedigree, and the Niners met with him at the Combine. Now, the one I personally think the Niners are more likely to take is Marshawn Keelan, because they seemed to have more of an interest in him. He's not as productive. Let me pull up his PFF info right now. 89.7 pass rush grade, 38 tackles, 6 sacks, 92 percentile in true rush sets, 91% percentile in pass rush win percentage, and 100% grade in run grade. 6 sacks, 3 hits, 28 hurries, 18 other pass rush wins, 1 batted pass, and 27 run stops. Now, when I watched his film, he didn't jump out as somebody who I think is going to end up being a starting D-end. But the 2 things that impressed me is I saw every play that I seemed to watch, it seemed like 99 was in the frame of the play. Like, effort is clearly, we're not going to see any Chase Young plays, from this man. Like, effort is clearly, I watched
Ryan? How you doing, brother?
Plays of him being in what's up, Brian? How you doing? I watched several plays of him being in a very similar situation that Chase Young was in the NFC Championship game, which Jason and I have came out and said we think that's a little bit overplayed, just a little overplayed. But saw him in the same position, and he was running to the football. I saw him actually even make a tackle. He was actually blocked. He lost the rep, got up and ran the ball carrier down. And I said, for a rotational pass rusher, that's all I want. Yeah. I don't need somebody that's going to come in and give me 15 sacks. We got that man. I need somebody that can give us some slight production, collapse the pocket, and maybe gets a double team or two from time to, like I said, the same thing I said with Javon Solomon. If this man's getting double teamed, and that either is leaving Nick Bosa or Javon Hargrave one-on-one, give that to me all day, every day. Give that to me. Because if you're doing that consistently over the course of a ball game, 97 is going to get himself some sacks. Right? Let's be real. Nick Bosa, if you leave him one-on-one, he's going to wreck your game.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So
don't share or don't brag over there, Ryan.
For real, right?
Damn it, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm starving right now. So
Same.
when I step back and I look at this and I say, hey, they're third, fourth round players. Excellent. Because that's where I want the Niners to take a pass rusher.
Mm-hmm. Because they don't need that starting pass rusher now, because especially they got Floyd, but they could use someone that's like rotational
because
guy. Yeah, exactly.
Look, I'm not ready to quite give up on him, but I can't walk into the season saying Leonard Floyd at 30-something years old and Drake Jackson are going to give us our pass rush this year besides Nick Bosa. Like, we can't do that this year, y'all.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we've got to prepare for Drake Jackson to be essentially a healthy scratch by the end of the season. Like, we have to prepare for that, and that has to be our mindset going into the season. I pray to God that Drake does it. I pray to God this is a year it all clicks for him. I would love nothing more than that. But we're at a point in the cycle of winning where I am interested in potential. I am interested in living on hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams were for 2017, 2018, and 2019.
Yeah.
We're in 2024, bro. Hopes and dreams are
exactly. We need right the now. Guys that are like fully molded, guys that are at least I actually had a question for you guys though. Sorry, I had a question real quick though. But do you guys think the Niners are gonna go more after maybe some of these faster guys? Because last year they did with the whole GTFO thing that they made up, and I feel like with kind of the moves, maybe a little bit they kind of Leonard Floyd maybe isn't the fastest, but he's not like I'd say he's still pretty fast. So do you guys think they're gonna try to go more after these quicker type of edge rushers in the draft?
I'll let Jason talk mostly about this one because I've talked a lot during the show, but I'm going to say one word or one sentence. Niners have been trying to replace D Ford since he it hurt his back. So yes, I mean that's really they're looking to get a D Ford.
Yeah.
Well, I think yes. I prefer them to go after someone a little bit stouter who could actually help in the run. Because we've been terrible against the run, well, at least last season.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of that leads me into, especially with you were talking about how taking somebody later that you're hoping Drake Jackson figures it out. I've got a couple of guys who more than likely are ready to play day one. Obviously, they might not start, but with the way things are working right now, they probably get more playing time than Drake Jackson. So the first person I've got is Braylon Trice. He is the defensive end out of UW. He's got like great size and mobility for his size. Really good at getting off of blocks, so that he can get in there and make those tackles, disrupt the pocket, all those kind of things. Really good with his first step. His first step, he'll beat a lot of people. He's really good at anchoring himself, so he's not going to get pushed off to the side or anything like that. Some of the things that he isn't as great of is he doesn't have that elite, first step move, where he's got a twitch step where he can get around with somebody like that. He does have some stiffness in his lower body with some of his moves, and it's kind of weird. They're saying that he performed at the combine, yet he still ran a 4.72. So it's not terribly bad for someone of his size.
That's
the other one, too. Yeah. The other guy that I got on here, who probably a lot of us are drooling over, Darius Robinson. This man is just a freak. He's very damn good when it comes against the run. As you can see, he's got 90th percentile against that. But he's actually just as effective almost when it comes to the pass rush. He's got great change of direction. He's got really good arm length, so he can push those guys off, so he can make reads and move. Some of the downsides to him is that he's just mostly a power rusher at this point. Doesn't have many other moves besides that. He does need improvement when it comes to like identifying plays, like screens and stuff like that with everything. And then his first step explosiveness isn't up to pars with like some of the other top edge guys. But these are two guys who definitely step in tomorrow and get some good playing time on this team.
I mean, let's be real. We're not. It's like I forget who it was I was listening to that said they got 24 first round grades. So any player we get
Crocker?
at 31.
The Crocker?
Maybe it might have been Croc. Any player we get at 31 is going to have some flaws. If you didn't take him, Jason, I was going to take him, as your player and everything like that, because he looked really nice. I didn't get to him just because I believe as far as edge rusher and like Dorish, to me, I like. Honestly, I kind of over Javon Solomon and Nealand, I would kind of prefer them to take Dorlish just because of that inside-out versatility. I think he's probably better as a D tackle secretly, but fine, you can kick out to edge if we need you to and all that. But, he's a tweener and all that. Anybody we have is going to have flaws.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see as we get in the mock draft here in a second. I'm really curious to see how the board falls because I think that might dictate who we take. Meaning the Niners. We could love, Fontenot. He could be our number one tackle. Would be, we believe he'd be a tackle for 15 years. But if he ain't there, he ain't there. Yeah. And that's what's been happening to me is I fall in love with these players, but I'm trying to think like, and now I have a specific strategy of thinking about, I think we're going to hoard next year's picks like gold. So that has limited me in trades. And I've mostly done it to also as a study of, okay, where are these players going? As we're on the draft show, hey, this is in my mock drafts. This is where the Niners have had to trade up to be able to get, Fontenot or whoever, kind of, I've been letting it overfold that, but I'm really curious to see how the board falls tonight.
All right, so let's get into said draft. Let me pull that up.
I might dip because either I gotta wake Bubby up and either she's gotta make dinner. So by the time we get to like the 5th or 6th, I might have to dip out for y'all more educated people on the draft. But I can stick around for some time.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Up first, Angel, who you want?
Honestly, I'm going to let you guys do one of these first round picks because I've been doing them and I'm kind of tired of having to do the first pick. So,
I will
Johnny
go
Newton
first.
gone. Is Johnny Newton gone? I said, is Johnny Newton gone? He's gone, bro. Johnny Newton's got to be gone. He's not going to be there at 31.
Some people say he's like even better than the other tackle, defensive tackle from Texas.
I didn't bring it.
Murphy?
Yeah.
You know what? I still think Zach Frazier is the kind of guy that would be the center for this team for years and years and years. So we're going to go center.
That's who I've been taking. Are we doing trades or not?
No trades for this one.
Okay, cool. All right, who do we got for edges?
Edges.
There's Marshawn.
Okay, who do we take first round?
Walt Frazier, center.
Oh yeah, center. My bad. See if Rosengarten is available.
Tackle.
I feel like he might not be because
I'm
dodgy or whatever just went.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, never mind.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Keelan staying right there, 63 ranked at pick 63. This is exactly where he should go. Is Rosengarten going to last all the way to 94?
No,
this is where I'm nervous. Let's go, Roger. That's what we got to do.
Please don't draft him in real life.
That's what we got to do, bro.
All right,
Because Morgan was gone, right? Morgan was gone.
Yeah. No.
So
because Jordan Morgan probably went near kind of the top, anyways.
Yeah,
I believe the
latest he's mid-second.
Yeah.
The team I've seen him get the most is Carolina with 33. So literally, he goes the first pick of so it's like you don't even have a chance.
Yeah, he probably latest went like 36, 37 at the latest. But anyways, okay, so we went
center and tackle.
Tackle.
Okay.
I
believe we're pretty BPA right after this.
Yeah. Let me look at the corners. I don't know if there's going to be anyone because I don't see anyone on the board, but.
I see some good names out there still.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna wait because I like some of those, like a Sean Wade Smith, I like that. So I'd wait for that. So to be honest, let's look
Jalen Hicks.
Let's look at wide receiver.
Yeah, I could see us taking receiver.
Oh yeah, we're gonna take a receiver.
Okay, we can still kind of wait, I think.
You know who I've gotten in the 5th round, last couple of drafts, just because, it's I've been getting Luke McCaffrey in like the 5th, 6th round lately.
Really? Because now I've been hearing, he could be going in the 4th round, and
that's what I'm saying. But last draft, I think I got him like that pick I was telling you about, Jason, the last pick of round 5. That's where I got him last draft.
Damn. All right,
I'm like, okay, I might take that kick return value. And that pedigree in the 5th round.
So I almost want to go Jacob Cowing, and it's not solely because he went to Arizona before Jason taxed me, but the Niners did bring him in for a visit, actually, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. And
it was yesterday.
Yeah, okay, might have been yesterday. But, dude, he would be absolutely amazing in the slot. Like, you could even play him on the outside a little bit. And, yes, you have Juwan Jennings, but I think you could, put him in afterwards. And maybe you try him at returner a little bit too. I don't know. But I know he's going to be a little bit of a reach. But I am actually going to go with him because I think he'd fit really well with this.
All right. Jacob Cowing it is.
We're back up on Jason.
Yep. Let's see who we got here. Who are we coming up to?
Ooh, there's your guy.
The Niners are taking that safety from Utah. The Niners, if he's there.
Apparently, I heard that like the Niners have met with him like 5-6 times.
Yeah,
times.
Yeah. They're like, apparently his agent told Larry Cougar, they've met with him like 6, 7, 8 times. Like the Niners are very interested in him.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to go with him, but of course Jason's making the pick here.
I took Siavani Vaki.
Okay.
Yep. I think that's going to be a Niner. Where are we at? We're at 4th round.
Yep.
Yes.
Annar Bortolini, but we already took our center.
Bortolini, but Bortolini actually can play guard. He's actually rated pretty highly as a guard as well.
Is Mason McKivitz still there? Or I said McKivitz. Mason McCormick.
Who?
I said Mason McKivitz.
That would be an interesting one.
Because he's got center guard flexibility as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of doubt he did. Zach Zinter's there though.
Yeah, Zach Zinter's another good one.
Because what you obviously turned me on to Bortolini, Jason, and I liked what I saw.
Bortolini.
I liked what I saw. I watched some highlights and some Senior Bowl clip 1-on-ones, and I mean, I don't think he lost one rep in the.
Like I said, he doesn't physically look like someone who's going to be great, but it's that IQ up here. What I tell you about that Broncos team,
Yep.
that, road TD to two Super Bowls. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yep. He looked good in his thing. Let me see what we got for Edge.
Edge again.
Ooh,
Let me take off another one.
guys there.
Oh yeah, there's some good names right from there.
Yeah, I think we're going Mo Kamara, bro.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think he was somebody I was interested in a little bit too, just because I'm like, you know what, you got a little bit of D Ford in you, and like I said, we don't need you to be our number one pass rusher. We just need you on 3rd and long to go that way. That's all we need from you, bro. So yeah, I actually really like that.
We went. Let's see. We haven't gone corner yet, so let's look at that.
Gone corner. I should have looked. At Cam Hart.
Okay, so I do like Shaw, Smith, Wade. I'm surprised how low they have Cam Hart though. That's kind
Right?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
It doesn't make any sense why he's so low.
Yeah. Can I look at more details on Shaw Smith Wade real quick? Like, I want to see his height and stuff. Okay, 5.
So he is a little small.
176 is a small corner, bro.
I mean, could he play the slot? There's a possibility. I mean, you could keep.
He doesn't have a lot of experience at slot. Though.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm actually not gonna go with him then. I do like DJ James or even Cam Hart, which I think we can even wait. Actually, maybe not. They might be gone.
We're at 135.
And they may be gone by 176. So actually, like, this is going to be a reach, but I'm going to go with DJ James.
Yeah. All right.
This is where it is. I think we're going to have to reach for a lot of players.
I mean, you just got to take.
They're not going to be available.
You can't just, like, even though it may be a reach, you're just going to have to take.
It's on Jason.
Nope. Is he frozen?
Yeah, I think Jason might be frozen. All right, we'll get Jason back here in a second. He's really good at resetting himself. So far, damn, and it got frozen at the wrong part because we can't even talk about the draft. Zach Frazier, to me, is a really good candidate for going at 31. And I know he just messaged me. Okay, PC crash. He'll be back in a second. Okay. He's so far, I've liked the way the drafts turned out. Not when I look at the players. I'm fine with drafting Zach Fisher. I'm fine with drafting Roger Rosengarten. I'm dedicated that if okay, we got the master plan back. We just lost our draft.
Is that I'm back. The bad part is that I restarted the draft.
All right. So restart it or
nah, because I kind of want to check out car. Yeah.
All right.
Good.
All right, y'all.
Little
that was what we got up to 4 rounds, right? Or 5?
Yeah.
4 rounds. That's not too bad. I like who we got.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, we're going best player available and projecting once we get to 5th and below.
Yeah.
So I if the Niners draft worked out that way, and even though I want Neyland, more than Kamara, if when you look at the players we got and the order and everything, I'd be fine with Mo Kamara. Yeah. We can nitpick on who's gonna be better, but honestly, maybe besides tackle, center, somewhere on the O line, maybe safety.
just because we don't know how crazy Huff's contract's going to be. How does he come back from the knee injury? Things of that nature. Maybe safety. But anybody we get in this draft besides O-line and maybe safety isn't going to make a significant impact this year. So I'm looking at role players.
Yeah.
All right, Angel, tell everybody where we can see you at.
Alrighty, guys. You guys can find me over on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube at 49er Media. Of course, we have our weekly show as well with Jason on Monday, where we'll be doing our final prediction mock draft.
Yep.
Individual mock draft, trades, no trades, whatever, all that shebang. So yeah,
I'm pumped up, bro. I can't wait. We're next week, gentlemen. Next week, this
time next week we'll
be watching day 2. Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll be watching day 2.
We'll be about wrapping up day 2 and giving our final thoughts on the second and third round. I'm excited.
Yes, definitely.
All right, and so thank you for hopping on, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
All right, so real quick before I dip out, everybody, Tuesday we'll be going over the tackles. I believe Kyle and John's presser, or maybe just John Lynch. It's always questionable on whether Kyle shows up or not. I believe that's coming Monday, so we'll be able to have some thoughts on that, I believe. And then Wednesday we're gonna get ready, because Wednesday's gonna. I've been, like you said, Jason. I think you put it so well. I've been very, very position focused, and very Niner centric. Very, what do I want the Niners to do over the next couple, after I get a little bit of working with tackles. I'm going to start doing the general broad draft. Like, I'm looking at players, whoever, just so I know who these people are, kind of thing. So I'm excited. So we're going to take Wednesday off, and then we'll be back. The goal for each day is we're going to try to go a half an hour before the draft. That might be tough, especially like Saturday. Tuesday, Jason and I will be Thursday and Friday, Jason and I. Steve-O was cracking. Bang, bang, bro.
Steve-O, what's up, dude? You're a little late, but better late than never.
But Tuesday and Friday, or Thursday and Friday, Jason I will be going together the whole draft. Saturday, we're going to do rounds 4 and 5 with your boy. Jason probably will hop on maybe sometime around where we pick the end of the 5th round. And then
if we haven't picked by then, I'll try to jump in by then.
Yeah. And then I will hop off, Jason, and Jason will finish the draft. We haven't. Did you still want to stick to the same theme that we've been doing? Offense on Tuesday, defense on? We'll do offensive. So and then following the draft, we'll be doing offensive players on Tuesday. Friday, the 3rd, will be our defensive players, and then we'll be cutting the Friday show until basically training camp.
We're out.
We out, and we're down to one day a show and fucking trying to come up with content. And I'm actually thinking about having an all-time Niners draft. That's something that's something that I've been bouncing around for a couple years. And been thinking about, and I think it could get a little interesting, because it's like, okay, do you take, let's be real. I'll go first, and I just tell everybody all the time, I'm taking Jerry Rice number 1 overall in every single draft. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm doing. You could find plenty of Niner quarterbacks that are going to be able to get the ball to Jerry, so let me pick the GOAT. But do you go Ronnie Lott number 2? Do you go, Joe? It just kind of bounce around with some quarterbacks that I think we'll set some parameters, so we're not going back to 1947 to try to figure out, all that. We'll set some parameters, but I'm looking pretty. That might be something we have to do one of these dead weeks. All right, brother. Yep. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and catch you Tuesday, bro.
Tuesday. All right. Everybody, thank you again for showing up. And again, thank you for Angel for showing up to go through this show. I'll make sure to add all his links in there. It's pretty much just like us. It's 49 Media on all of your kind of stuff. Again, we'll be on Tuesday for our last draft preview for offensive tackles, which will probably where we're going to take. And then our final, what we would do as the 49ers as a draft. This is one where we're speculating for. It's all speculation, but this is the ones that we would actually do, including trades and everything else. So until then, Phi Fetai Tali Lava. One love, everybody. Deuces.